Hariom everyone. Today we are going to see a beautiful personality. Actually, I love her. I admire her like anything. I'm going to read about her. Moreover, she's a great soul and lovable soul. So let me introduce Divya here. Divya DESWAL is a biodynamic craniosacral therapy practitioner, doula and doula trainer and mentor, childbirth educator, hypnobirthing practitioner and hypnofertility practitioner, embody birth educator, somatic experiencing practitioner, psychic practitioner, pre and perinatal educator, and mentor, APA. Divya has worked with expected families since 2001 as a childbirth educator, hypnobirthing practitioner, and doula. She is a biodynamic craniosacral therapist and somatic experiences practitioner and is currently teaches and mentors doula in India. She is also a mentor with APA in the USA for their pre and perinatal educator program. She believes the baby to be a sentient being and the journey of motherhood a spiritual one. Wow. Divya also practices biodynamic craniosacral therapy and somatic experience as trauma and nervous system regulation therapy and brings both modalities in her work with mother and babies, enabling her to support women and babies in their journey through pregnancy and birth and beyond. Also works with psychic for drama and subconscious pattern resolution. Divya is co-founder of an online platform, My Child First. My dear viewers, if you want to reach her, you can visit this website, www.mychildfirst.com, that offers information on many aspects of reproduction and parenting. This platform aims to bring diverse information and offer an opportunity to the user to integrate that information from the perspective of the baby and make decisions as parents. Choices in childbirth through the baby's eyes. She is also a founder of the Doula Collective, a training and community for doulas. Even if you want to know more details about that, you can visit this website, www.thedoulacollective.in. This brings the cultural, relevant, and trauma-informed doula training for India. So what else? Even I can read more and more about her, but time is little. So let us hear from Divya ma'am. Hariom Divya ma'am, it's our flash means a fortunate thing. I'm feeling blessed to have you here with us, Divya ma'am. Could you please introduce yourself and what are the service you are doing? How many souls you could you touched? I won't say how many mothers you touched, how many lives you touched. I could ask you how many souls so far you touched and flourished their life. Please, the platform is for you, ma'am. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Kalyani. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Divya DESWAL. I'm based out of Delhi, but now we are living in a world that is global and virtual. And perhaps our world is also virtual. Like we say, the world is a mithya or it's an illusion. So now there is virtual reality within virtual realities, and the Pandora's box opens. That is something to think about. Thank you for giving my details. I'd like to say again, for parents, to be parents and young parents, we have a platform called My Child First. So it's www.mychildfirst.com. And that has a lot of video-based and article-based information. And the idea is that you read, you hear, but ultimately you make a choice about your baby because it is your child. And the other platform that I run or the website that I have is called the doulacollective.in, and that is for people who aspire to be doulas, but also we do a monthly webinar free for everybody. And in July, we have Yasmin, my friend, coming up.
Wow.
So that's my details. My numbers are there on the website. So if you feel inclined, please reach out to us. Now, so what do I do and why do I do it? When I'm a civil engineer by profession, and so I have a science background. And when I first had my son, my first child in 1996, even before that, I was driven or drawn or called to be a mother. Our sanskars say, Kalyani knows that really well, that you make an intention of having a baby. But in my case, I think my son made the intention of me being a mother. So it can work both ways. As a result of that internal wisdom, I gave up my job and I was so committed to being a full-time mother because I know time passes, children grow up, and we won't get that phase back. But during my journey of pregnancy, when I was having my baby, I found very few resources, and that just started me on a new path. So in some ways, my children are also my path bearers who showed me the direction where I needed to go. So I've been doing this since 2000, and I teach a class. Now, people say, why go to a childbirth class? Birth is natural. Absolutely true. Majority of classes are not about how you will give birth, or should not be about that, because
Exactly.
they don't know how your body functions. Nature knows, They are more about understanding what might get in the way of your birth. So the more we are, the more we can read, the more we have exposure, the more we are fearful of what we are hearing around us. They are not positive stories. But in our traditional wisdom, when somebody is pregnant, everybody in the family says, oh, now you don't hear bad things. You don't have to go to bad social occasions. We'll take care of it. You just manage time worthy of, energy worthy of your intention. So that's a really important point that I want to make when we do childbirth classes. And for that matter, I love hypnobirthing because Kalyani did it with me. They don't talk about what may go wrong. Why should we think? Nobody starts from their house thinking today we will have an accident. So why should we think on this most important journey that something will go wrong? However, you still follow the rules, you still drive carefully. So you are taking care of things, but you're not paralyzed by the fear.
Yes.
Whether you call it philosophical, whether you call it spiritual, or you call it scientific, because neurobiology also says the same thing, that when you are relaxed, when you're happy, when you're safe, your body grows, your immunity grows, you have good sleep, you digest your food and reproduce. And when you are fearful, all these functions get suppressed. So this is not rocket science. Meanwhile, people think that maybe what we do are experts, but actually we are all experts on our own life. And when I did my course with APA, who I now mentor for, one of the key learnings that drew me to them was that they said that the child is a sentient being. For being. So it was a very good fit for me. And this, they are not talking from a spiritual angle. We have a spiritual angle, but theirs is not. Theirs is a scientific angle. So they are doing research to say in how many different ways does the prenatal life affect the baby. So there's physical, we know food affects the baby. We know emotions, so now that is there. We know the mother's experiences affect the baby. When we say it affects the baby, is it affecting the baby only in organ development, height, weight, such things, health? No, it also affects his psychological profile. So,
Well said. Well said.
you're shaping the personality.
Yes.
The brain itself, the hardwired brain itself is shaped by the experiences that the baby has. But what they have found in research, which is something, again, I will go back to Kalyani because she's the doctor in it, is that the consciousness of the baby, there is kind of two different perspectives in the baby in the first 3 months, which is beautiful. One is an outlooker saying, oh, what is going on there? Third party, witness consciousness. One is a bodily sense, I'm getting this food, I'm getting this nourishment. It's only in the 4th month that they merge together, then this person decides to manifest in this form, in this world, in this realm. And I know that Ayurveda says that too, about the consciousness arising in the
Exactly.
4th month. So, when we look at the scriptures and we try and interpret them very linearly, it never serve us well.
Exactly.
When it says consciousness arises, which could also mean that it was always there, the soul is always present, but it then decides or takes that step to say, I want to continue this journey. So it arises in the body. So that is also something we do. We have put all these different things in our platform on My Child First, not just as my voice, but voice of many, many different people, doctors, philosophers, pre and perinatal educators, Garbha Sanskar, lots of things. And you can access it at the website if you want. So in this current time, we started with saying that if so much is affecting the mother, what can we do to support her? When lockdown started, there were absolutely zero resources. You remember that? Nobody knew what to do. We have started a weekly webinar called Connection and Co-regulation. Co-regulation means my nervous system will settle and help you settle yours. And between the mother and the baby, we know that the baby's nervous system, John Chitty says, baby's nervous system is hitchhiker. It's taking a lift on the mother's nervous system. So mother is relaxed, baby is relaxed.
Yes.
If the mother feels safe, all is safe in the baby's universe.
Exactly.
Because the mother
Well said.
is the universe of the baby. So when we said co-regulation, the mother makes a connection with the baby, and as she regulates, the baby also feels the world to be a very safe place. But nobody was feeling safe. So we as a platform became the regulators for the mother so that the baby may get affected. So we have that program on. We give the baby 7 gifts.
It's going very interesting, Divya. We don't want to,
spirituality.
where to start this question, where to get your information. So it's a bundle of knowledge you have. Ma'am, is there anyone, if you want to reach you, do you have any special, your mail ID or something for them to
So you can reach us at info@suletmedia.com.
Okay,
You
please
can
spell it,
reach
please.
me.
Spell it, please.
info@suletmedia.com. You
Awesome.
can connect with us on our social handles, mychild_first on Instagram, mychildfirst on Facebook. You can look at the Doula Collective. You can look at it by my name, any which way you want to. There are many ways of reaching us. If nothing else, you can call Dr. Kalyani and take my number, but I can say it here. It's 98117-18141.
Awesome.
So you can reach me on my phone. You can send me a message. We are always available. We're doing online childbirth classes. We put up a very interesting format. We have all the information already online for you.
Awesome.
So you can read it, you can address it, you can practice it at your own time. But we don't want to leave you alone because co-regulation. So every week we do one live interaction. You can bring the material that you have digested and you can further explore it with us. We have certain themes around these classes. So the first one is about anatomy and how the body changes. The second one, you can ask questions about labor and comfort measures. Then we talk about welcoming the baby, breastfeeding orientation. Then we talk about making a birth plan and what to expect when you get actually to a hospital. So we do that. We're coming up with a newborn program called Do You Know Your Baby? So what does the baby need from you? I know what you're going to do for your baby. You're going to do the best for your child. But what is the best? Questions around sleep, around crying, what can they see? What can they feel? Those questions we are answering in the newborn baby. We also have a program called Sentient Baby, which is my favorite, which talks about the baby's journey from conception. What all can we do to support their growth so that our field is clear and their field is clear, all of that. So we have a whole bunch of those things going on our platform.
Divya ma'am, could you please explain little elaborate about the Sentient Baby, because you are doing, it's your passion, you are doing it, and also now all the mothers are having little time to go through it. They may learn better from you. Could you please explain it little elaborate way?
Okay, so the Sentient Baby is a simplified understanding of what we talked about, the baby's consciousness. It is taking a journey into this world through the baby's eyes. While we are eating well. So tell me, if when we eat well, say we're having good, nutritious food, is the food going directly to the baby? There are so many teachers in the world, but the art is in receiving. So how do we open up portals of receiving
for
a baby? It's not about what I can give you, even in your and my dynamic.
Exactly.
It's not what I can tell you. What a guru teaches a teacher, a student, not all students learn equally. So where does the power of every human being lie? Within themselves?
Well said. Wow.
What can I receive? And when we start to think of this way, we realize how powerful we are, because in every moment we have a choice. Even in the most desperate moments, we have the choice to fight back or not fight back. Even that's a choice. Making a choice to adjust, to accept, to move through struggle is also a wonderful and strong choice. Somehow we have polarized the world. There's the duality, you're strong or you're weak. जो बोलता है वो भी strong है, जो नहीं बोलता है, जो चुप रह सकता है, जो सह सकता है, और वो भी तो strong है. It takes more strength to manage yourself than to manage the world. So, and who am I to define strength for you? Each one of us will define it.
Yes.
So as long I can live with my choices, they are right choices. So we want to take away the burden of right and wrong from mothers and fathers, so that they can stop worrying about that and start looking at the baby, start listening to the baby, start connecting with the baby. It's a joyful experience. Why should we diminish that in any way? And why should we let the world tell us who we could be and pass that on to our child? So that is the Sentient Baby program. So it has small, small units where you can talk about, we talk about circles of safety.
Okay.
Baby needs to be safe, mother needs to be safe. So we make 3 circles and we put the baby in the center, the family in the center.
Exactly.
And the circle around are the people we usually interact with. But it's not necessary that the people we are living with and interacting with make us feel safe and happy.
Yeah.
So,
very true.
So in our intention, we can put them outside the circle. Can I make a boundary around me? Very flexible, not a wall, a boundary. A boundary keeps what is precious inside. A wall keeps everything outside and inside. Can I make a boundary to say, okay, you get only so much of my energy, or you don't get my energy, carry on. Your karma, your choice, move on. I'm not engaging with you. So creating those awarenesses, in the realm of consciousness, intention is the most powerful thing. We know that. We pray for that. When we pray, we make an intention. So you can do it with prayer, and we want to explore different ways. So somehow we feel that when it becomes scientific, then we feel the power is in somebody else. The scientist, जिन्होंने पढ़ाई करा है, those who have studied it know better. When it is spiritual, we say, oh, the priests or people who are educated in that field know better. Then what do we know?
Yeah.
So
What do we
sentient
know?
baby is what we know. The science, squeeze it, take the spirituality, squeeze it, mix it well, then flavor it with individuality.
Interesting.
And put a dash of the mystery of life and drink it. And that's sentient baby for you.
Awesome. Awesome, Divya ma'am. Yeah, it's very interesting and it's very inspiring. You are talking from your heart, you are walking from your heart. I know very well about that. But now it's in pandemic situations, all the mothers have, especially planning, means mothers, those who are planning for the baby and those who are expecting, they may have little doubts and they may have some worries about this. So in generic, what's your guidance and advice for them in during this period, Divya DESWAL ma'am?
Whatever you need is already within you.
Wow.
When we lived in the caves, when we lived in the jungle, when we started were hunter-gatherers, when we were agriculture, we didn't need any, when we lived even before that.
Yes.
We reproduced even before that. But what the beauty is that when we lived in the caves with no education and nothing else, the generation we produced was smarter and evolved to where we have come today.
Wow, it's a great knowledge. It's a great knowledge. You simply put it in a word. Actually, all the Upanishads, Vedas are telling this thing, exactly in a different way. That's it. Wow.
So when we study engineering, you know how I made the shift from engineering to this field and understand what biology was and also what medical science was, is that every bit of engineering that we can ever think of is already available in our body. Whether it is circuitry of computer, whether it is gears and machines, whether it is catalysts and chemistry, everything is here.
Yeah.
For the baby in the womb, the mother is the entire universe. So it is up to the mother to say what is her universe. And that's her power. If this small room can become my universe, I'm content. If I'm content, I'm happy. If I'm happy, so much more is happening. So much more is happening in my life, which is in my control, because this is my universe. The more I think that I don't have it, I have to get it from outside, the more my anxiety will increase in terms of what if I can't get it. But you'll find that everything you truly need is within you. And you have the wisdom to provide for yourself.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps. Wow, interesting. Oh, exactly. So, so many means so far, how many couples have you guided, Divya ma'am?
So from the beginning of my career, it could be about about 2,500 people. I've
Wow.
worked with families whose births I've attended, could be about 500
Yeah. Okay.
over the last 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
We've just started our online classes, and interestingly, our first group has had babies,
Okay.
and we are getting that feedback and those juicy baby pictures we are enjoying.
Yeah.
And it's not like everybody has a natural birth. One
Yeah.
of our students had a C-section, but
Yeah.
what is so beautiful is that she
Yes.
said that I understood why I needed to make that decision,
Yes. Wonderful. That is
and
what
the
we have to
recovery,
educate. Mm. Mm.
and the recovery.
Yeah.
So she didn't feel like things are wrong. She
Yeah.
felt like, even though this is not my plan, this is the right thing to do right now. How many times we have felt in our lives and we have worked with it that,
Wow.
oh, maybe today this is right, and she's happy for it,
Mm.
and the family is together, the baby was with them. So
Mm.
there are many things
Mm.
that go in the process of that birth.
Mm.
And for most of us, we have now got so caught up with one
Mm.
kind of birth
Mm.
that we've forgotten that when that birth finishes and our achievement finishes, that's the start of the baby's life.
Mm.
And we forget about that. So how about we pay attention to that a little bit?
Yeah.
The baby's journey. So, it's not right or wrong. Again, Kalyani, I think that whole idea of right and wrong is the duality of this
Yes.
world.
Yes. Yes.
The truly spiritual or the philosophical path is this is what it is. The
Mm.
ability to assess and accept reality is our biggest gift. We are intelligent. What use is our intelligence if we cannot make it work for us? And it is paralyzing us. So
Amazing.
we want to really appreciate and be grateful for our intelligence, ability to think and
Yes.
realize and be objective and hold our feelings and subjective in one hand.
Yeah.
And especially women are very capable of taking joy and sorrow, bringing it
Equally.
together in song, and and then using that juice to fill up their cup and pour it out to others as love.
Yes. Yes.
We know that. I mean, we've all done it at one time. If not in our childhood when we played with dolls, if something breaks, we can laugh and cry at the same time.
Yes.
One child is sick, one child is coming first in class. Can we hold both of them together? Yes. We have enough space in our hearts. That's our true nature.
Wow. We have enough space in our heart, Wow.
And then, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, interesting, Divya ma'am. I would like to have one more session with you for one long hour, because this is time is not enough to get your immense knowledge, and you have that much of abundant wisdom and so many things which will really helpful to the world in future. So anyhow, ma'am, Divya ma'am, it's my pleasure, and I really am telling you again, I'm feeling blessed to have you here with us today. Thank you so much,
Thank
Divya
you.
ma'am, for joining with us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.